Good evening. Tonight I'm going to just make a short video in response to some comments I've had recently, comments that I love. Two of you, John Boston and Bob Eldridge, have both commented on Butter Bob Briggs. And it turns out that you commented that you liked his YouTube channel and watched a lot of his videos, and he was one of my favorites over the past 19 months. I'm sad that he hasn't put anything new on YouTube in about the past 3 years, maybe a little longer than 3 years. But I love his videos. They're so practical, and love his Southern accent and his very genuine, heartfelt attitude and all, and his sole desire in making a YouTube channel was to try to help people, just tell people his own story of how his life was changed by changing his diet, and to try to help other people do the same. He lost a ton of weight and improved his health, and again, his name is Bob Briggs, I guess, but he became nicknamed Butter Bob Briggs because his first big video that a lot of people watched was called Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. And not margarine, but butter makes your pants fall off. I mean, I don't know that he says anything about margarine. I'm sure he does at some point emphasize that it's real butter he's talking about, not margarine, because I know he talks about that. And he also has another video called Lard Makes You Lean. So anyway, Butter Bob, super guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, you can type in just Butter Bob, and his channel will pop up. Butter Bob Briggs is the full name if you want to check him out. And I'll put a link down below in the description of this video, because I'd love for you to see his content. It still is out there available. He helped so many people. I was so glad to see two of my subscribers who were fans of his, because I was definitely a big fan of his. Still am. He's not dead. He's still alive. He just quit putting stuff on YouTube. I think he felt like he had said all he needed to say, and he wasn't trying to build some huge channel or become famous or anything. He's just trying to share what helped him. And I've heard that he got tired of a lot of the little petty infighting that goes on in the keto community, and there definitely is a lot of that. Some people try to make keto so complicated. They have all these supplements and powders and shakes and all kinds of stuff to try to make it, mainly to try to make money off of something that's popular right now. But he kept everything very simple. That's what helped him, was keeping his diet very simple. And he, always made the point that he's not a doctor and he's not a scientist and all this, but yet he had researched a lot of things out, and is just a super guy. If you haven't watched him, tune in and at least watch his most famous video, Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. I just checked that a few minutes ago, and it currently has 1.5 million views. That one video has 1.5 million views, and his channel has 113,000 subscribers. 113,000 subscribers. You know how many videos he's put out? How many videos he put on YouTube? 43. Not 1,043, not 1,043, not 143, 43 videos, and he has 113,000 subscribers, and his most popular video has 1.5 million views. That tells you how meaningful and helpful his information is, and so I do recommend it real highly. Again, here's some of the titles of his videos. Keep Your Diet Simple, which I mentioned. He has a video on that. And one of them that I love is, Why Are Fat People Hungry? That's a good question. Think about that for a little. Why are fat people hungry? Might have something to do with insulin. He explains insulin better than most doctors I've heard try to explain it. He researched it a lot and understands it. And watch his video, Why Are Fat People Hungry? Another video of his that I really, really loved was talking about Dr. Blake Donaldson, who wrote a book called Strong Medicine. That book was published in 1961. Dr. Donaldson proposed a meat-only diet. So if you think the carnivore diet is some weird new fad, Blake Donaldson, MD, wrote his book in 1961, or published it in 1961. There's another doctor, Dr. James Salisbury. You've heard of Salisbury steak. Dr. James Salisbury published his book in 1888, not 1988, 1888. And it was advocating a meat-only diet to heal obesity and problems that people were facing at that time. And so and a lot of this research and talk was going on in the 1850s, 38 years before James Salisbury published his book on a meat-only diet. And then in 61, Blake Donaldson published Strong Medicine on a meat-only diet. And now you have Dr. Sean Baker, MD, and Dr. Ken Berry, MD, both doing the carnivore diet themselves and promoting it as a way to heal many of the problems that people have, not the least of which is obesity and diabetes. And so these are not new fad diets. These have been around for 170 years at least. And before they had insulin, a meat-only diet was about the only way they had to treat diabetes. And it was used with type 1 diabetics who today, have to have insulin or they die. Before insulin was discovered, they tried treating those children. It was always children with that back in those days, back around the 1900s, early 1900s. And they treated them and prolonged their lives somewhat with a meat-only diet. And, the low-fat craze had put a lot of that on the back burner, and it made it taboo. But it seems that we're rediscovering history and things that really work. But anyway, I want to dedicate this video to Butter Bob Briggs. Wonderful man. And I don't like the fact that keto cuties and keto complicators ran him off of the airwaves as far as YouTube goes. He was probably one of the clearest voices out there. Unfortunately, he's left his videos up, so he remains to be one of the clearest voices out there. And maybe it's good that he only published 43 videos and didn't keep searching for content. He said plenty in those 43 videos. And if you really want to learn how to improve your health, you could learn an awful lot from Butter Bob Briggs and the 43 videos that he put online. Check him out. Check him out. He was an amazing guy, and I love the work that he provided for all of us. And to me, he's almost like Blake Donaldson or James Salisbury, who each of those men only published one book that I'm familiar with anyway. But now, years and years later, decades and later, 150 years, almost 140 years, whatever, for Salisbury, his information is still helping people if they stumble across it. And that's the way it's going to be for Butter Bob Briggs. He didn't produce, you know, 50,000 videos, you know, and trying to make keto complicated. No, he kept it simple. And I think simple is the best in this lane. And check out Butter Bob Briggs. You won't regret it. Thank you. Now remember, live healthy and finish strong. Thank you.